arty friends.
Good morning.
Top of the morning to you on this here Sunday. We're going to get into some arty fun, some butterfly business. Butterfly pouches, to be exact. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. Otherwise, we do not know that you are here. We like to know that you are here because all these arty friends in the chat love to be chatty. That's why they call it chat.
Oh, thumbsies upsies.
And thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, do all that subscribey business. You can do that down below over there. You know, you hit the little subscribe. It's free to you. Helps us out. It's free. That's the #1 way you can support the channel. That and the thumbsy upsies. Actually, the thumbsy upsies on the videos are more important than the subscribing. But we like the subscribing. One of these days we want to play business. All right, hey, this is P over here.
M over there.
Patricia.
Mariah.
And together
we are PM Artist Studio.
Let us know if you sing along.
I might have to
She's going to the doctor tomorrow. It's all good, y'all.
hit the bourbon. And I've got one ear that's slightly open.
Wonderful. Slightly open. All right, let me say hello, everybody. That's the other reason that you say hello in the chat, because that's how I know that you're here. Oh, wait, I want that to be live chat. Also helpful if you turn yours over to live chat. Because then, you know, I know you're here. And then you know you're here and you're seeing all the things. All right, we've got Anina, April, Art Carries, that's Miriam, Becky, Betty, Carrie, Christopher, Christy, Cookie Wookie, that's Mo, Darcy, Dana, Devin, that's Yolande, Eddie, Elizabeth, Erna, Estella, Griffin Shell, that's Rhonda, Hoarder Papercrafts, Mimi, Jeanette, aka Janet, Jennifer, Joni, Just Me, Kim, Lexi, Lori, Lydia, Making It with Minglet, that's Lisa Mingus, Marguerite, Mary Ellen, Maya, Panka, Sophia, Sandy, Sherry, Star Traveler, that's Linda, Suzanne Rivard, SWL, that's Sherry, Texture Junkies, that is Sharon, aka Sharon. That's how she calls her. The Shelly Studio, that is Margot. Alrighty, guys. Let's get started. Oh, wait, quick thing. Today is the last day to be able to sign up for the swaps over there in Makers of Mixed Media Art Artists Facebook group. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's all the swappy business that happens. We've got a Misfit swap, and then there's a, you know, figure it out with your friend swap. So you can swap whatever you want. You just got to figure it out with your friend. If you want to send ATCs, postcards, tags, whatever it is that you want to make and you want to figure it out and swap it, that's how to do it. But you got to do that over in Makers and sign up. The other things that are happening are the Makers Creative Collab, which is the FlipFlyFloraFauna theme. You can mash that up into the the collage prompts. Those are most of the prompts, along with, oh, let me see, I wrote it down. It's good stuff when I write things down, because y'all get note up and I feel good about things. We've got FlipFlyFloraFauna Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis?
Metamorphosis. That's what my brain said. Metamorphosis. I had to switch that little over there. Okay, and then we've got balance. I need more balance in my life. I know about you. I don't know about y'all, but I'm working through it. Balance. But if you go over there, there is more information, and I even put in, like, you know, so flip, capture the essence of motion, change, and transformation. I'm going to read these because it's good.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
Flight, explore the theme of soaring, freedom, and movement through images of birds, airplanes, and other flying objects. Or you could just, you know, you could get, that's very literal. You could get figurative.
Yes, you could, because I did that with my Kung Fu fighting. You know, motion.
Flora, showcase the beauty and diversity of plant life, from delicate flowers to towering trees. Or, like, flora, don't they say, like, flora, like your smell? Am I thinking of that, you know? Flora.
I think you're talking about aura. Not fora.
Hey.
Don't put an F at the front
drop
of aura.
that FL, and then you got an aura.
You're a flora.
You're for it.
Your flora is flowering. Fragrantly.
Okay, and then fauna celebrate the rich tapestry of animal life, from majestic mammals to tiny insects. Metamorphosis. Depict the process of transformation or change, whether physical, emotional, or conceptual.
I just love it. Who thinks this stuff up?
I'm not going to tell you, because you'll be judgy. Balance. Explore the harmony and equilibrium between contrasting elements such as nature, technology, light and dark, or chaos and order. I know. I've been using ChatGPT.
That's very esoteric and, cerebral.
Hey, I love ChatGPT. He is helpful, or she. I'm going to say she. She gets me. Most of the time. Sometimes there's more prompting that needs to happen. But I love it. Because I go, okay, this is kind of what I want. And you tell it. And then it comes up with all this. And it's very you. Like, I think ChatGPT is tapping into you. Because this is like how you would write.
Yes.
And this is how I want to write. But I don't have the time and energy to, like, totally sit down and do that.
It does take time.
It does. So, there you go.
Editing. I like to edit. Somebody else can write it. I'll just make it better.
Yeah, see, and that's what I do. I write it out, and then it edits it. And I'm like, yes, that's what I wanted to say in more fluffy language.
Fluff it up.
Fluff it up, GPT. Okay, there you go. Y'all are knowing, the behind the scenes. And then, of course, we have the color combo. Everybody has been, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have been participating in the teal, magenta, cream. Of course, you can add the other things in. Grab that up, this, that, the other. That is all of the event things happening over there in Makers. You can find it all in the featured area. There we go. Okay, I've not been reading chat. I've just been, reading my thing over here and getting all excited and letting y'all know things. There we go. It's Sunday. Next week, is it next? So not this Monday, but the coming Monday will be the interview with Carrie, the crafter. That link is I already scheduled it so he could let everybody know, because he's got different people. So if y'all want to share that, mucho appreciated.
Share it out to the world.
Yeah, because a lot of people love knowing things about our designers, and I know Carrie is going to be a big draw because he's got a big audience of his own. So there you go. Alrighty, new things in the shop. There are new things. Are you going to show those?
Right away.
Oh, perfect. I'm going top side. Look at that. I tell you, sometimes y'all we accidentally make things happen, like in a very sort of planned.
All right, so I know this just cracks me up. I want y'all to tell me what this word says.
Yeah, let us know in the chat real quick. I'm gonna switch over to my stuff here and figure out things and who's it, what's it.
Devin's still waving to the group. Arm's getting tired. Hello, Devin. Wiener, Becky said.
That's what I said too. That's what I said too. I said, wing. What is,
It's weapon, y'all.
Well,
hey, they already have a bunch of them. I can't wait. Oh, my goodness.
Weeping.
Devin said weapon. Yeah, okay. So she's still reversing some of her letters. She asked me, she said, which way does the B go?
And it's P. And that's, yeah. And
yeah, I know, but the B's and the P's. But you want to know, this is kind of crazy. When I'm doing something like calligraphy, and I'm really focusing on the technique, I have to think about which way the B goes.
Hey, you know what? The D. And I think that that's just true of anybody, because I've even, I've watched Dee Dee Willingham, who does beautiful lettering. Miss a letter or, forget a letter.
Yeah.
Because you're focused in on the thing.
Absolutely.
And where you've really become, like, when you're writing just to write stuff out, it's a muscle memory thing, so it's not this cognitive.
Yeah, you're not. You're just thinking about your how you hold your pen. How is it have enough ink on it? You're not thinking about spelling, and it really is. So I think that's where our baby is.
Yeah.
But here's my weapon. Okay, so last night she worked on making masks down here. Drove me freaking nuts because she'd come over every after every little round. And I should show you what she ended up with, because it was pretty good.
Well, she's given me one of them. She's upset with this that she did on the nose part. Here, you can show that over there.
Okay.
And she would like me to remove that. I don't know if gesso is the thing to do, but she doesn't like the little nose things. And
yeah.
This part and then the two nose.
Okay, well, is mine over there?
I don't
You have
know.
mine?
She took off with another one. Hopefully she didn't wear it to church. She's going to church today. She might have smuggled it. She likes to take things with her. And I know that's like a kid thing. I can remember that as a kid.
Okay, here's mine.
Oh, good God.
So she just wants to draw 3 or 4 lines on it, and she says it's done. So I just keep sending it back.
That's fabulous.
Okay, it is.
Wow.
So she had these all outlined, all of the little spaces outlined, and I said it needs more.
Hey.
But you can't just tell her it needs more. You have to offer up
information.
Hey, information. Bruno. Give examples. And see, look at her little dots that she did down here, and the dots that she did up there.
Did she cut that stuff
out? And she did these all by herself.
Oh, no.
I said, you need something around the eyes, and then you need to repeat it. And she's very much into symmetry, if you haven't noticed that. And then she had this orange thing, and I said, you need to break it up. You need to put some more lines there and repeat your colors. Oh, sorry.
No. Good? There you go.
Sorry, everybody. And I thought that was worth talking about because when you say elaborate to a 6-year-old, that's not very meaningful.
No.
You need to have some concrete examples, and you need to show her what it is that she needs to do.
You know what she told me this morning?
What?
Because what was I talking to her about? Oh, observations. Because she says she wants to be both a scientist and an artist. And I said, hey, those two things can actually coexist at the same time. You can be an artist that is very scientific, or a a scientist that is very artistic. There are jobs. Some of them are very high-paying jobs. Anyway, so I'm kind of yammering on about this. And she goes, I am 6 years old. And when you start talking like that, I turn off. Like, fair enough.
I understand that completely. When she goes into her tech mode, she looks at me and she knows. Pardon. I'm still,
She's going to the doctor tomorrow.
Mucusing. Okay, so we've got some new stamps here, folks. I'm pretty excited about these.
They are in the shop as exclusives. We kind of waffled on this one because they sort of a spin-off of Nested Circles, but they are new. So we decided exclusives.
And it's almost like Atomic Daisy, too.
Oh, yeah, kind of a. It's
so it has that same flavor, but I love the motion of this.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Oh, Brad's putting them in now. They'll be available here soon.
So I'm not using them today, but that's not to say that I won't, of course. So there we go. Mariah, I'm going to hand these to you because I don't want to get them mixed up with my pile that I've got going back here.
Oh, you'll be seeing these, I'm sure. So this is just a little,
Here are some mushrooms, and I may actually use these today.
Now, keep in mind, so what I did, and I kind of figured out, I have taken the one oxide stamp downstairs because, so before what I would do is I'd take a picture of the standalone stamp when it didn't have ink on it or anything because it photographs a little bit better because the foam is ever so slightly different colored, like the actual top part of it. But it's kind of a whip because then I have to go back, take, stamp, then do this.
Yeah.
And it's just, refining processes, I swear. I've been watching Tested a lot, so I enjoy Adam Savage so much, but he talks about refining processes, and it's, a few seconds, a minute, it all adds up when you talk about something that you do repetitively. And not that we do this every day, all day long, but each and every time that we do it, I need it to be very, I need to be able to sit down, stamp everything, cut out the things, take the pictures, and be done with it. Well, what I can do at the very end now is just stamp it with the gray, and it basically puts that kind of different finish on it, but it's not so crazy that it doesn't look legit. So there you go.
I like it.
Did y'all all glaze over and tell me that,
No, I love the idea of refining processes. And I think that that's what you do on the gel plate after you've done about 500 prints. You figure out you need to keep your colors where you can reach them quickly. You need to have a place where you can brayer off. You need to have a place where you can put your brayer so it's not interfering with your work. And it's just those little things that are going to make you successful.
Yes.
One of the things I would do when I was teaching watercolor to small children is I created these placemats. And I laminated everything. They called me the laminating queen. And what it was a placemat. Somebody would say, don't stand around in one place too long, she'll laminate you. But anyway, I bought my own roll of laminating film because they all bitched about it so much. The thing is, if you have your stuff in the same place, you don't have to think about where it is. You know where it is. And that's what makes you more successful in doing the process.
And one of the things that Adam was talking about is, even when he has something new come into the shop, he goes, if I was looking for this, where would I look for it, or what would I put it with, if it doesn't already necessarily have a category?
Or
so then that way, because if that's your very first thought about it, that's probably where you're going to go to look for it.
Mnemonic devices are always wonderful. And associating like things. And your association may not be the same as mine.
Yeah.
You know, I don't file ABC.
Oh, Brad and I's filing system's very different places in the world. Very different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've gone more towards his. Because I think it probably makes more sense to more people. Mine is that he's like, it's a one-person system. And it's got some flaws.
Eclectic. I remember.
And it has some flaws.
I remember when you were doing
I'm realizing that.
Osco.
Yeah, they used to say
Yeah.
that. And actually, all the way back to even when I used to file things, because I'm like, it doesn't make sense that... So, like... Well, the way they did theirs... Well, that was the accountant there.
All
That
right,
didn't
so
make sense. She would put stuff in
refined-
front of the tab instead of behind it. I'm like, you go to the thing and then you open it up and you go behind it. You don't go in front of it.
Yeah.
That didn't make any... So that was her ass backwards business. There you go.
Okay, so, yeah, all right, here we go. Okay, so Izzy brought me this, and she said, Popsy gave this to me, but I'm giving it to you, Gigi, because I think it would work for your stamps. Well, I think it does, because look at this. I can layer them up here and find them quickly. They take up less space than a box that I've got to dig through. Pardon me.
Yeah, this is kind of like, in prep for the, streaming. Or like, what you would be working on right then and there.
Exactly. So I've got my flowers on here. All the different flowers
now,
are on here.
She cut those up. If you're looking for those little bloom business, there's a cluster.
This is the 3-fer, and I didn't like it because
cut it.
I wanted to put them where I wanted, so I cut them apart.
You're
allowed to do that after you buy it. Okay, so the mushroom thing. So, I kind of was thinking when Mariah was talking about the other day, the FlipFloraFauna.
No,
Fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
FlipFlyFloraFauna.
Okay. So here's my thought. All right. So we need mushrooms are going to be a base, right? So then we've got the
Sophia's. I think what are those?
And I don't know if I put both of them out, the big and the little. I thought I did.
Hold on here.
Thought I did, but maybe I didn't. Okay, and so then I've got a rabbit in flight.
Oh, I love that. And that's fauna.
Then if we wanted to start getting into sort of the, realm of the whole Day of the Dead, that sort of thing, we've got that. And we've got the death moth here. Psilocybin mushrooms, we can definitely put that in over here in this category. I think they're psilocybin. And we can't do anything without an eye. I always get the eye. Remember, the tear duct is here.
We have both. So if you want both eyeballs.
Oh yeah, I just pulled out one. I don't even know that I have both of them. And we talked about flight, butterflies. I didn't pull down any birds because I didn't think about it until afterwards. Ah, here's my little leaves. And then the whole idea of, you know, transformation and that sort of thing.
The metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
Oh, that's
Then
fantastic.
I pulled out all of the, and the reason I really like these little individual stamps like this is because they make it more, oh, here I did get a bug.
That is the wasp.
A wasp. I like it.
I do too.
Stingers. And these little guys just, you know, they're more stylized, but they fit into some areas that you might need them in.
Those are Carrie's Meadow border builders. That whole set of like 9 or 10. I feel like there's 9.
Okay. and this is sort of accomplishes both because it's a spiral shell, but it's also the whole, you know, thing, ancient symbol for the continuity of life. So we've got that there as sort of a mystical, you know, element to our theme. And Ron, I'm going to ask
you.
Are you
going to stamp all that? Like, I just love it all there together. Wish you'd scoot it down a little bit. We could take a screenshot and then I can just, you know. There.
And
like
this is obviously a tester.
Yes, that was even when we were just trying to figure out different foams and they were sending us samples and we were trying to figure out the machine. So we didn't want to waste any material. So
I got all of the, you know.
Yeah, the testers.
Now, what I would like for you to do is hand me that screened box that's hanging on the wall over there that Margie made.
Okay.
So that I can have them all out and I don't have to dig through a box for them. My sister made this for me a long time ago. Margie, if you're watching, I mean, it has had so many lives.
It now hangs on the wall and like to use around the studio, which is great.
We do, because it goes on the wall and hangs there quite nicely.
Well, one of the reasons it hangs there is because if you put it down on a flat surface, it will just end up with crap in it.
Yeah.
And then it is no longer functional.
This is very true.
Just, you know.
Unfortunately, she's absolutely right. And I am not arguing with that. I am not arguing with that at all. I'm trying to get it so I can fit my little... But I don't know if that's going to be possible. I don't want to layer them up. One of the things...
Oh, that's a great idea. Yes, so if you guys do a collage and you happen to have a family member that is named Flora, that is a fantastic idea. Oh, look at you.
Then I can get them all in here and I can move them about the cabin and not have them being, you know, interfering with my area. Because I have expanded my area here. And you're going to see why here in just a minute. Now look at that. Isn't that great? Mariah, did you get a shot of that?
That's awesome.
I mean, it just, yeah, works perfectly. Okay, I'm saving these little things and sending them to my swap partners. And I have to, would you remind me to go over there and sign up? I forget all about that.
Do you want to sign up for both the Misfit and the scraps and the Becky's? Do you call it swap?
Yes.
Hey, Becky, will you sign her up? And then, hey, Rhonda, will you sign her up? Thank you.
Just in case I don't make it over there.
Because it gets a little nutty once we, like, it's so crazy. Like, once we stream, it's time to eat. And then we try to get, like, you know, whatever kind of things done that we need to get done for the rest of the day.
And as a cousin named Metamorphosis, she's always changing her look. I don't know if that's true. If he just made that
Eddie's
up.
Just being
He's
funny.
being clever.
He is.
He's being Cleaver. You understand the clever thing? A lot of people spell
I have a hard time.
Cleaver when they want to spell clever.
I have to look it up a lot.
Yeah. Squirrel and giraffe, too. Those are killers.
And peak. I forget which peak is peak.
E.
Yeah, or...
Well, just think. E.
Oh, E. I have a cartoon down there that I look at often because it tells me, you know, it's a guy like peeking around the corner or whatever, and then the, you know, peek. But that's funny too.
Okay, so we're going to do some stamping today.
Good God.
Well, I hope we are. But I've got all my stamps prepared and ready to go. But I have some marvelous stuff to show you, some inventive new stuff.
Well, I don't know that it's...
Well, it is for me.
It is for you, and it could be a spin-off of some other things.
You know, I just, if I discovered it...
It's new to you.
It's new to me.
I just think that we should preface that you know, because then we'll start getting the comments of, oh, so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so.
No, I actually did get this from someone.
That shall not be named.
Well, I just, it was a long time ago, Mariah.
Yeah, no, I know who it is.
Hell, I don't even...
But we don't talk about Bruno.
Oh. Well, I already showed you my butterfly. But this is Carrie's butterfly.
Hi, Gerald.
This is Iron Butterfly.
And the thing is that it wasn't a novel thing then either. So I don't feel bad even, you know, not mentioning. Even
but he didn't do it like I'm doing it.
I know, that's right.
So there is that.
There is that.
Okay, I spent a lot of my valuable time that shall never be recovered in this world.
Gessoing.
The packets.
Hey, Marcia.
Packet
Hey,
pockets.
Trisha.
They're the peepees. Packet pockets. And I just,
Pocket
you know,
pouches.
Pouches. My pouchy pockets. Anyway, I noticed there's some areas that I missed on these.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's absolutely going to be wonderful. I didn't get to the inside of this simply because I thought, well, I'm going to be covering that up anyway, and I don't care if that flap is like a different color.
Oh, that's true, Estella.
What?
I shouldn't... It's more like he who shall not be named, you know, like Lord Voldemort. That is really more the equivalent.
Yes.
Versus Bruno. Bruno did get a bad rap. But just because of the song, we don't talk about Bruno.
Okay. Well, whatever. I have no idea what
She
she's
has
talking
no idea
about.
what we're talking about. Okay.
No idea whatsoever.
On to the gessoing of pouchy packet.
Yeah. All right. So I wanted to show you here. All right. You can see it. Look at this. This is the one that I covered with the brown deli paper, right? Can you see what it did?
It wrinkled.
Sort of kind of wrinkled. I don't care about it, but you might.
It's a different surface than the other thing.
It is definitely a different surface than painting directly onto Amazon's paper packets.
And the camera is really enjoying all this whiteness. It's just like...
Well, I'll put the Iron Butterfly back down here so that it can...
Yeah.
Okay, while I talk about this. The reason I gesso things before I start doing anything, I think it just makes for a more sturdy surface to work with. And the what you call them, the things that Amazon sends their stuff in, the envelopes that they use, when I tear off the label, because I have to, it creates a problem if you don't. Sometimes I tear them. So then I can use the gesso to patch it up a bit with some craft paper or whatever, and you'd never know. Yeah, there's that.
Mo, I don't know if I said hello earlier. Mo's here.
Now, you can also actually do a paper mache type finish on this if they need to be a little sturdier. Say you're using them for, you know.
Holding heavier things.
Holding heavy things.
You need to reinforce
You
the
can
pouch.
just do whatever you want to do. You know, okay.
The thicker the better.
The thicker the better. So,
Maybe. I don't know.
Iron Butterfly fits onto the medium-sized pouch.
This is also called Shattered Butterfly, if you're looking for it in the shop. This is by Carrie the Crafter. I'm sure that, Shattered Wings by Carrie. Thank you. Mo put a link to it. She's calling it the Iron Butterfly. because it reminds her of, what is the show with the iron? That's why your brain's going there.
Uh-huh.
What is the show? Game of Thrones. There we go.
Yes. And I think it could be it could be a stained glass window. It could be so many things. And it's also it leans towards Art Deco. And it's got those sharp edges to it, but yet it's a wonderful sort of visual paradox. The idea of the butterfly in flight is graceful and light, but here we've got these saber sharp shards of whatever, and I love that. When you have visual ambiguity, makes things interesting. It keeps people engaged. I think it's a wonderful thing to use. Okay, so the packets are ready for application of whatever we decide to put on them.
So Lisa Mingus, I don't know why, she probably did say it in chat, but then she really wanted me to see it, so she messaged it to me, which I love. Thank you. So she said that one of the ways you could store the foam stamps would be to put magnets on the back of them, and then they would stick to the metal racking, or like even if you had
a whole board, a metal board,
or even like a whiteboard thing, you could store them up on a thing like that. That's fantastic.
I like that idea.
Well done, Lisa.
I can use some of that. It was kind of it's like the washi crap tape. It doesn't stick very well, so I'd have to use some glue.
But I think it would work well with that.
Yeah.
Again, I think the reason that it did not stick to your watercolors is because of the amount of moisture that was inside the box. And the fact that even it was probably, coming through, you trapped it in there.
Yeah, I've created a humid environment.
Yeah, which was not helpful with the, adhesion.
Everything you said is probably true. I love that idea. How are we going to do that, Mariah? Would have to be a really big board.
Oh. So many things need to happen in here for such a situation to
I just love
arise.
That idea, because then, I can see them all at once. When you talk about refining your process.
Yeah.
That's the key. If you can see it, you can use it. If you can't see it, you're probably not going to use it.
Right.
Now, that's not true, because I have drawers over here. I know what's in there.
Here's a really good thing that you have done recently that I found, that was really smart. You pared down the watercolors. The watercolors are now in a bag over there that you have been able to access whenever you wanted. Because they're there, they're together. You grab the bag, and then that's, it.
And I put
when it was in the big heavy box, she couldn't get it off the shelf. She wouldn't access it. So that's one of the reasons probably weren't doing as much watercoloring.
This is probably true.
Yeah.
All right, so you can see I really I put a few more layers on here. And I have a new, but I didn't throw my other ugly one away, because I'm going to use it to stamp on here in a minute.
Those would work really well, Mo. And if you had the right, probably like that. You got to watch out what kind of glues would melt the foam. But there are certain foams, or it may not be a bad thing, even if it did sort of melt it up ever so slightly. Because then if you used these types of magnets, which, these little boogers, they're pretty strong for a small little magnet.
All right. I'm just doing this as I remember it. It's not necessarily in the order of logistics or anything. It's just, what's happening here.
Right.
I just want that to be a little closer than it is.
I know, but then it makes a hot spot on your face.
All right. I used here transparent red iron oxide, heavy body, open. Let me tell you how many prints I got from that one application of paint. Okay, so this is the last of it. This was the first of it that I did a flop off on. Okay, so got that. This is another flop off.
Oh.
This is a rub off.
Frottage off.
And this is a, I can't remember where this was in the sequence. This might have actually been.
Got a little bit of everything.
This was the first one, maybe. Okay,
it's got a lot of things.
It has a lot of things on it, and I think it's getting really interesting, and I really do like it.
Uh-huh.
And I still have, and I allowed this to dry, took all day, because it's open. But I just wanted to show you on one pass, and this is why open paint should be part of your creative arsenal. Something that you've got there. You're not going to use it all the time. It would be silly to say that. But to know if you want to have something that emphasizes the line quality of your stencil rather than the negative space, this is the way to go. You put your paint down, you put your stencil down, and then you have
the hokey pokey. And then you shake it about.
Okay, I thought that was instructive.
Very.
I'm still gonna. I still have plans for this, but I have to get this other thing off of here first, because here's what I was seeing here. See these tiny little bits of this blue here?
Yeah.
That's what I need on here. That's what I need. Okay, we need to get some other stuff off before we start thinking about that. So I'm going to go ahead and put something down on here. And you know what I could, now I'm going to do, because I really do want to have a, I have this wonderful blue and I've lost it. Oh, I think I found it. Light phthalo. Did we get more of light phthalo?
When?
I don't know.
Then that's a no.
I probably made some stupid statement like, well, I can make my own.
No.
And I can make my own, but it's just so nice to have a tube.
Yes.
Okay, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. This is like, I know it's time to order toothpaste when I have to squeeze the bejesus out of it.
Oh, Sandy asked if you could just choose 2 colors of open paint. Which would you choose?
Oh, that's a really good question.
I think Prussian would be one personally, and then either nickel azo gold or nickel azo
or the transparent red
iron oxide. That's the one. Yeah.
Because then you've got your cool end, you've got your warm end.
Yeah.
And plus they go really good together.
They do.
Yeah, those definitely would be the 2 that I would
Hi, Lee.
use.
And hello, Susan. I think you came in. I'm just feeling like that. You moved the thing, and it makes me crazy because I don't like the thing.
I'm going to try something here. I've never done this before, but I got a new, I have a new purple pad here. You know where I had my black one? I think I already said something about that, right?
There we go. Now, number 1, that's not.
All right, I'm going to put this down this way.
And you could scoot over there a little bit towards your brayer off your plate and everything. There you go. Perfect.
This isn't open paint, so, you know, we're not going to get the same lovely print that we did. But I think we're still going to be able to utilize this and get it off of here. My baby has my paper towels over on her table, Mariah.
Okay.
Okay, now we're getting some more of that blue in there, even though it's not as as I want it. I'll tell you what I want is some of this anthraquinone in open. Crikey, that's the way to go with that. Now, I do have nickel azo gold in the open also. I just noticed that. Now, here is, but it's not open. This turquoise phthalo, I love that color. I love that color.
She loves all the colors.
That is a really good one. And I have those here. And then I have the Indian yellow hue in open. Just got that the other day from there.
Yeah, in fact, whenever we get to our 10,000 subscriber and we do the big old giveaway, we have some of those to give away. So
We do.
there's a little dangling carrot for those of you that, you know, come and watch regularly. In order to help us build out the channel and, you know, get more subscribers, share these videos over there on Facebook, Instagram. You can email it to your friends.
Now, this, because my plate has slightly yellowed, these are older plates. It's not going to be as green as it looks there, although I do like that green.
Yeah.
It's going to be more bright blue. Just, you know, heads up.
Yeah. Bye, Miriam. Thanks for hanging.
Okay, you remember this from the other day.
Mercury.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've been sleeping really well, though, so I will say that.
Yes, you've at least been in a better mood and whatnot, not looking
And
so scary.
Just, you know,
Hi, Rose.
I would wake up and it felt like I was as tired as when I went to bed. It's terrible. Okay, now you can see I used a different stencil here.
Ampersands. It's and percent. And.
Okay, well, I don't know, waited a little long to get it stuck down. I'm also using, this is cheap blue paint. Might not have been the best thing to do.
Well, and
Because remember, we've got some layers on here that are from the blue paint that doesn't dry worth diddly squat.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about, that anthraquinone. And then we used some old paint that I had over here, and it was kind of globby.
Well, you had done some weird mixy things with that ice blue, so don't blame the blue.
It's not
blame
the blue.
the Yahoo.
No, it's not even the blue layer. It's the underneath layers that are causing the problem.
Oh.
I'll flip this over in a minute, and you can see what I'm talking about.
Hello,
But we've
Isabel.
still got some good stuff going on here. And the other problem probably is when I pulled this, I pulled it with a metallic purple. And it was a metallic silver. And you can just, it's kind of a lame silver. Can you see a little sparkle there? It's more of a,
Oh, like one of those golden ones that just, I mean, it just disappears.
It does, and I'm just, you know, I'm really irked about it because I think that this, but I still think it's a cool looking print.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, about 3/4 of it got left behind on the plate. But here's what's there.
Well, it's about
Still
a quarter.
stuff I can work with. And we can get some stuff down there, and that'll be, I can still print, you know, put this down. You can see it's not so much the silver, but it's kind of just a pearlized, I don't know. But whatever it is, it's not a good pull coat.
No. Most metallics are a little iffy.
And
Like you're gambling whenever you do.
you are. And what happens is it starts drying up on the edge when you have a lot of layers on there anyway. And that's how you get what's going on here. I still think it's a viable print.
Now, are any of these, like, should I be filming this to, you know, as a little
This
teaser?
one you should. This is the butterfly.
Here, hold on, I'm gonna turn
This is the one that you want to film.
I do. Wonderful.
Because it is, I'm hoping it is going to be absolutely wonderful.
That was the wrong thing. There we go. Yes, have that off.
I'm gonna pull it, but I'm gonna explain to you how it was done also. Alright, so what you're seeing here is this on here.
And that over there was done with charcoal.
And I have it over
like
here.
legit charcoal.
Yeah, charcoal. I'll show you
That's fine.
here in a bit.
Transferred that to the plate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just laid it down, and it transferred to the plate.
I just laid it down and rubbed the bejesus out of it.
There you go. Then, it was done on a plate that already had the golden crackle left over from, crinkle crackle business. And
yeah, that didn't come up.
Right, and there's still even more that you'll be able to probably pull off. And then pulled it with what color?
With toasted marshmallow.
Wonderful.
Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it's so elegant.
There's one in the can. One in the can.
Yes. All right. Now, I don't know that, if I want to mess with this, I'm going to turn it over and look at it. I don't think that there's really enough there.
What do y'all think?
I mean, I just, I'm not feeling it, and I want to use the plate, so we're just going to see if we can get rid of it.
I wish you'd take the jingle bracelet off.
You want to take the jingle? You want me to?
I do.
Who on you, Mariah?
I know.
All right,
hey, Betsy.
So this is charcoal. I don't know if this is going to come off. This is the first time I've done this. But look at that. And I just, I'd like to start over with an image that wasn't, ghosty. I want you to see how it really goes on that first.
You're very jingly with all that rubby business.
Very jiggly.
Jingly with the rubby squeezy business. Carrie Griffiths would like to know, P.
Yes.
Would you suggest a color to mix with silver to turn it into another color as I avoid my silver? Well, of course, I can answer that. If you mix orange with it, you're going to get an awesome copper. If you mix both orange and more red with it, you get even a deeper copper. If you mix any darker blues or anything like that, you're going to get a nice steely blue. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, whatever colors. Here would be my suggestion, though. When you are creating those silver mixtures, use a more pigmented paint, like some of the Goldens, because
but
you're going
not opaque. It needs to be transparent.
Because then it doesn't mess up the shimmer and the silveriness.
Yes.
Silveriness.
And the reason I know that is because I've done it.
Yeah.
It's very disappointing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What Mariah said.
I've been around for a
Word.
while, learning things.
Okay. Now, this is my original rubbing. I can still use this. I mean, I can see, if it's charcoal, it's probably a good idea to seal it because it still has some stuff on there, but not tons of stuff. I'm gonna put that butterfly over there. I just absolutely love it. I even love the little gold edge around the.
It's very fancy.
It's very fancy. Okay, enough of that. Or
Okay,
what are we
Robin.
doing here?
No
All right,
worries.
I'm putting this aside for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grab a new sheet of paper. Hopefully I can find my dadgum
Hi,
butterfly.
Patricia.
Now, on this, I did put this down on the, I put the slicky side down.
Yeah.
Because I think that this is going to grab my charcoal better.
Oh.
Just because of
more tooth.
Yeah, more tooth.
Makes sense.
Okay. Where'd my butterfly stencil go?
Awesome. Well, and those of you that have come in, do say hello in the chat if you want to be chatty. Totally fine. If you're seeing the chat, that means we are live and that you can interact. If you would like to go ahead and give those thumbsy ups, we very much appreciate it. Or wait till the end, you know. Reserve your comments till the end. That brings us to, if you are seeing the access to the comments down below, that means we are in replay. We would still love to hear from you. Do all that YouTube business if you haven't already. Like, subscribe, and, you know, share with your friends. Hit those notification bells. All of that part is free. No added cost to you, but it certainly has value to us as a channel. Look at that. That was a new little thing.
Okay, I don't like this black thing underneath because I can't see the extent to which
your edges.
My black thing is,
yes.
You know, blacking, or if I'm actually getting...
All right.
Okay.
But you were thinking that maybe it was giving you more push?
Yeah. But, and I guess you could put it down and then just keep pulling it up, but...
Yep, likes don't cost a thing. But it makes our little heart sign.
And you can get it as light or as dark as you want to get it, really.
Yeah.
I just think for purposes of demonstration, it's nice if you can be able to see it. The stick charcoal is the way I would go. I've got some weird stuff. It's probably from the oil on my hands.
Oh, yeah, because you touched that area.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Lisa. I mean, charcoal's just, you know, the black of all the pastels, technically. Not technically, actually. Because there is different stuff in charcoal than what there is in pastels. Because pastels are going to have different color pigment.
I apologize for that out there, but, you know, word of warning, that if that happens, you know, clean your hands before you start. And charcoal, it was not my thing. When I had to take drawing classes, we used charcoal, and what we'd do is we'd completely black out our drawing paper and then erase to get highlights for the, oh my gosh. And this was way before baby wipes. So you just, you know, had...
And it was everywhere.
It was everywhere. And I don't know, I always touched my face and always had, you know, smears on my nose and on my forehead and whatnot. Okay, there's Iron Butterfly. Bring our plate back.
Hi, Jessie.
And you know, before I do this...
Oh, thank you.
We're going to try... Because I so much love that gold.
I was thinking the same thing, Eddie.
What?
He's just like a Catholic on Ash Wednesday. Yeah. The art department, it was always like, you know, getting the...
Oh, yeah.
Ha ha ha. I thought Dixie.
Okay, now what am I doing?
Where am I at?
Where am I at? What day is today? Okay, so I'm going to lightly crinkle. Remember we talked about, because I really love that gold.
Getting the gold crinkle crackle.
I don't want a lot of it, and I don't want it to obliterate my and I do want it to be slightly smaller because I really like that gold edge around there. And I really, you know, this is kind of an afterthought here.
Yeah.
Afterthought all the way around.
She's trimming it.
I'm trimming. And you don't have to keep every little piece of paper. Did you hear that, Susan?
Hey, she does watch.
Susan does watch.
She'll email me.
Oh, she will. It just hurt my soul when she threw away.
She has some new things coming on. She says she's going to send us some special stuff to check out. And then, because I only have 2 more of her paper packs, which for some reason my inventory was wrong. So, I don't know if y'all are looking for Susan Gantz's paper packs. There are 2 more still left in the shop. I adjusted inventory. But she is going to be supplying new ones. But she's going to send us a little, you know, like, she wants us to see if we like what, you know, she's been producing lately.
I just so much love this gold. This is kind of like, you know, when you're trying to get all the butter off of your knife.
Yeah, and Jesse, they're right in the chat there. Like, you can use the hand sanitizer to, like, clean it up, but you don't want to leave that alcohol on your plate. You have to think about these as, because they are a poly product, which is, like, you know, it's plastics of sorts. There's all sorts of categories and whatnot, but nonetheless, it is a plastic product. And therefore, the alcohol eventually will have an effect on drying it out. So what you want to do is add that kind of the proper type of moisture back into it, which is, you know, something like the mineral oil.
I'm trying to get a little bit more of an edge here that's kind of maybe a little bit feathered down here.
Feathery edge.
A feathery edge.
The patting is part of the process.
Patting.
Patting.
And then, you know.
Pat, then rub.
Give it a bit of a rub. I want to take off more than I want to leave. Because remember, we want to see the butterfly. I just want some little bits and pieces out there. Oh God, this is perfect.
Well done.
And this is, look at this. This is going to be marvelous, you know, for something else. And in fact, if I let this dry, I can almost use this as a stencil transfer kind of thing. Put that over there. Now, if I wanted to, I could come in and buff out the edges here. Really did pretty good up.
Teresa said, nice job patting.
I know. You know, it's really hard to get evenly distributed crackle, especially when you're trying to get, you know, bigger kind of lines.
Yeah, because what'll happen is you'll end up with like a one kind of blob area. And of course, it's like right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that's, yeah.
It's just, you know, one of those things that, okay.
Teresa says she tends to over pat.
She tends
yeah,
to
you gotta kind of know when to stop.
You do.
Oh, I know.
Okay, now, this is where I used a lot of time rubbing. I don't know that you need to, but it's just my feeling. I want to get it off of that paper. Rub-a-dub-dub.
Oh, with the bracelets. Can you put it on your other hand? The non-rubby hand? Yeah, the jingly thing. Can you put it over on that one? Oh, there. Or there. That's a solution as well. I love it. Thank you.
I forget that one has...
It's the super
those
jingle.
Wonderful little tie bells.
They're so jingly.
And I told you they requested that I not wear my bracelets.
Yeah.
Giving the tax test.
Mm-hmm. She's an ambidextrous rubber.
Hey, it's a talent not everyone has.
I know, that's right. And those sure are your little fingerprints, because you can tell where you kind of leaned your hand down with 3 fingers.
Okay, well, that's got a story to it.
Yes.
You know? All right, I really liked, and see, you don't have to wait for anything to dry, the charcoal. Done.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that buttermilk stuff, and it pulled like a champ.
I think that's one of Carrie's favorites.
Toasted marshmallow, not buttercup.
He likes the buttermilk, but they're kind of between the vanilla ice cream, buttermilk, and toasted almond. They're very similar.
Yeah, toasted marshmallow.
Oh, that one too. Almonds or whatever. Yep, buttermilk.
Buttermilk.
That's Carrie's favorite.
Okay, I'm going to try brayering with my other hand.
Thank you. You could just take the bracelet off.
It doesn't work very well.
And save us all a little jingle.
I'll just be more
fluid with your movement. It jingles less if you're not so. You know, the Patty Dabby business.
I don't want to be running my sleeve through the gravy.
That's
or
right.
In this case, the toasted marshmallow. set my sleeve on fire as I'm toasting my marshmallow.
That was the last time she went to camp.
With flowy sleeves.
Oh, goodness.
Well, got some nice little wrinkles in there that I really didn't.
Oh, Sherry loves the buttermilk, too. It's one of her favorites.
All right, I just think it's important when you can cut what?
Oh, poor Darcy. She says she's cleaning because the mess was irritating her more than usual, and it makes her angry at the clutter. And then the people causing the clutter, including me. Why is autocorrect putting a capital C? It also feels that way about the clutter. It has feelings.
Bad feelings about the clutter.
Look at you reproducing something. I'm very proud of you.
I'm very proud of me.
Well done.
Oh, and look, I've got this paper I haven't even taken off the back.
Look at that.
Oh, wow, clarity.
Yeah. I was like, it was a little milky now that you...
Now that you mention it. Okay, I think that is beautiful, and actually I really like this one sort of better than the other one because of the distribution.
You have more crackle.
Crackle.
The other one was just left behind crackle, like, you know, incidental crackle.
It was incidental, definitely incidental. All right, I hope this has just been so much fun.
Fun, fun, fun till your daddy takes your
T-bird away. That was it.
That was it.
Let's pull some more stuff off here, and then we will maybe
Is
get
this...
on. I don't know if we're going to make it to stamping today or not. What time is it?
You got an hour.
We have an whole hour. Heavens to Betsy. All right. Now, the reason I kind of wanted to pull some of these.
Good golly. Yeah. Remember, this is the mixture of texture paste with paint. So it's extra thick.
Yeah.
And
I read somewhere that you could do that, and I don't know if I believe it now because remember, you can also use the texture butter on your plate. But sometimes it's a bit recalcitrant in coming off. It wants to stay on there. It likes it. It hugs your plate.
Okay.
I mean, eventually you can get it up.
Yeah.
But this is still an interesting print. And I like the sort of randomness of both the white that's left here and this is left, because this is interesting. And we're going to try something. Okay. We agreed that, oh no.
It took some of the paper.
Now, if it was Izzy, she would stick her tongue through there and keep making it bigger. I thought about that for just the slightest instant. But my tongue's a little larger than the orifice there.
She's always licking something around here. I'm telling you. Worried about her.
Okay. So, this is interesting. It sort of looks braille-y.
Oh, a little bit.
You know, dot dash or
ancient alien language or something like that.
Yeah. Morse code.
Morse code.
Telegraph.
Oh.
I guess that's Morse code too, right? All right.
Sorry to hear that, Kim.
I'm going to try. And, you know, I told Mariah, I said...
Oh, hey, and by the way, the stuff is in the shop now. The mushrooms are not exclusive, but the nested are. There you go.
We're going to see if we can get charcoal to transfer using the stamp.
Oh. Well, look at you.
I don't know. But there was so much stuff going on here.
If that doesn't work, I've got another.
You have another idea?
I got a thought.
I'm just kind of thinking, you know, how much pressure and how I went over all those areas when I was doing the frottage effect.
Nah. Okay, here's a thought. If you, over on a side piece of paper, and I think it was something like the 32-pound hammer mill, or, I don't know, it could maybe not matter with the toothiness, like if you had more toothiness. So if you did a heavy area, and then stamped the stamp in there, but here, let me also, one second, give you this, and I'm going to give you the junky one that's all, you know, tainted and whatnot. And then here you go, here. Okay, but stamp your stamp in there, just
you
lightly.
Don't care if I mess that up.
That's why I gave you that one.
Now, is this going to mess up my plate?
No, I don't think so. It's just a kind of a, we're going to go with no.
Look at that.
So that's, I mean, I don't know if this is mind-blowing or, you know, something y'all even.
Oh my gosh. And then
oh, look at that. That's cool too. And then you can come back and emboss on it.
Oh, you could. Well, I'll use another area. We might try that.
I just remember the sort of thing like when I was a kid. Do you guys remember that with the whole pencil thing? And you'd like make a really, really dark area and then you could like make your fingerprint. So that's where my brain was at with that. You know.
Now, I'm really messing this up.
That is totally fine. That's why I gave you that one. I have another one that's more pristine. Candace, that's a pretty good idea. I don't know if it's going to do that much with the foam. Like, you could do that with a rubber stamp or even the, you know, acrylic stamps. But with the foam, I don't know if what they're saying is possibly try to do a rubbing. If maybe with the carnival tissue over the stamp. But I don't know that it's going to give you enough resist to be able to make a rubbing from the stamp.
I do want to try that, though.
Okay.
I do want to try that. Because I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's charcoal. I want to get one more on here.
Okay. I doubt that it gets sealed, because what happens, I think, with that, you know, the stuff, because I think it's basically mineral oil. And that's why I say it's not going to harm the plate that's in the little stampy pad thing. Because it'll evaporate. So it's not like it actually, you know, hardens or encases. It's more like it just kind of evaporates.
Okay, hey, that works great. Now, this isn't going to be, as what Mariah said, mind-bogglingly...
mind-blowing.
Yeah. It's subtle. And,
Hi, Tina.
do you think we should... Can you, like, wipe my stamp down just a little bit?
Yeah, I might just go rinse it a little. Just
okay.
Because I don't know if you want that, like, around.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you have this, and we're going to see if it'll...
What do you want me to do with that?
Emboss.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back.
I mean, that could be another whole... Gosh, I mean, who embosses their charcoal? God, I hate that stuff. Charcoal stuff. Okay, now somebody said something about using your... to see if the stamp will hold, and you can get a good impression through the stamp doing the frottage method with well, I don't have any cups, so we're just going to have to...
Look at that. That's kind of funny. And then it's pulling some other stuff. Look. That's pretty funny.
Okay, so stamp's clean. All right, we're going to try some of the, to see if we can get an image. And I definitely would use the...
oh, and you got the little stamp pad, or are you still using it?
Pardon?
I'm
going to
use it some more. Okay.
Well, what I might do is I might apply this to help stick the tissue paper in place.
Okay.
While I'm frotaging.
Yes, the paint will seal it. Exactly. Good call there.
Oh, this looks cool, y'all.
And then, yeah, I think, and I'm going to do the chocolate.
Crap. Well,
yeah, sugar biscuit.
All right, so the whole thing about this is you want to, I don't know that I can make it, line it up at all. It's going to be off a little bit, but that's all right. You need to secure your stamp.
Stamp securement.
Stamp securement. Well, we got kind of a smoky eye here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think I can do a better job on holding it in place. And then you still have this, which you could use it for, you know, collage. Okay, this is really hard because that stamp sticks up so much in the air. Okay, I am going to use a little because I think that this might have made a difference.
All right, so right off the bat, I can tell you that you probably want to get on this like kind of right away. My thought with the you know, embossing stamp pad stuff, the, you know, clear embossing business, which again, I believe is a very similar product to basically mineral oil, I think. But what happens with it, with the charcoal, is it just kind of sucks it up. And so it's not really that sticky anymore.
It isn't sticky at all.
Yeah. So it's not grabbing onto the embossing powder. So, you know,
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Where we slipping a rubber band around.
Well, this one was actually better. So I think oh my gosh, I pulled up some of my hand.
So careful.
Dadgummit. Yeah, be careful with that. Okay. I think I'm about done with this.
The other thing you could probably use is just water. Like on your stamp. Like if you got your stamp kind of wet, you just need to pick up the charcoal and then you're kind of then transferring it over.
Well, I know, but you're going to be rubbing on it. Oh, you mean wet it after?
Like, yeah, if you're doing this kind of technique with the whole making yourself a little...
Oh, picking up that charcoal. Yeah, for sure. Any moisture on there is going to help you grab that dust.
And then push it onto the plate. You just want to make sure it's something that is plate safe, so like the mineral oil, water, things of that nature.
Yeah. That.
I love it. Eddie, will you message me that? Because I'll forget, and I would write it down, but I don't know where my damn pen is, and I've got stuff all over the place here.
Okay, I think I'm done putting stuff on this. I don't think I don't think it needs any more.
Are you still using the stamp pad, the clear pad? Okay, because I got the lid over here. If you need it again, let me know. This is the junky one we can use for whatsoever.
Well, I should probably have that over here on my side. But, whatever. All right, now, what are we going to pull this with?
Hey, real quick, let me run the heat gun over this. I'm sure it grabbed up somewhere. I just don't know where or what. Let's see.
What part? Did you put some stuff down on it?
I did, but it basically just rolled off. But let's see.
Might be a real different,
because it grabbed up down at the bottom there. So it's like you can see little...
grainy.
I mean, it's straight up just, like, here. So you can see if you kind of roll it around. It grabbed onto the paint more than anything down at the bottom.
Which one am I looking at here?
That bottom one, yeah. But then up around the index finger, some caught on there. But again, I think it was more to the paint than it was.
Yeah, okay, that might not be the very best.
So the charcoal acts as a resist to the powder. Like, I think anywhere where there was powder, it didn't stick. There you go. Just some already food for thought.
Here we go again with toasted marshmallow.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Now you see our little pieces that were left over? They're like little paint islands.
They are. It'll be interesting if they decide to come up this round or not.
It will be.
Mm-hmm. Christy thought that was an interesting experiment. Well, and Susan is enjoying this as well. Thank you, guys.
It isn't necessarily every time you have a the success rate. Here,
yeah, but you don't know. You don't know. Now we kind of know some things. I was thinking that too, Devin.
What were you thinking?
The song Islands in the Stream. Uh-oh. What's Paula doing?
I'm just really rubbing this.
Oh, yeah, Paula. I love that. It's weird and creepy and wonderful. Because there's so many questions.
Yeah, replicate this.
Yeah. Oh, good girl.
It's just like sometimes when
Bye,
you make
Christine.
those
Thanks for hanging.
wonderful, and usually mine is a soup.
Yeah.
That is really wonderful.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to know how I made it. And I know they think I'm just being an a-hole when I say, this is to never be replicated because I don't know exactly. There are so many things that were added at various points in time that I just...
Now, one could here's how one could follow her, sort of her, you know, ingredients. You could come along and take a picture of the kitchen afterwards. Because she has all of those things left out on the counter. Nothing will be put away as she is doing it.
Now, yeah, the actual amount of that said ingredient is
but at least if you knew the ingredients, you could probably, you know, work into measurements.
Oh, that's just too funny.
I'm glad that you got a chuckle out.
I did.
Good.
And even when I follow my own recipes, I don't follow them. I think they're merely suggestions. Okay, this is being really, really...
Crack them edges.
Well, I have cracked them, but it's the depth of which...
The paint has rolled over the side.
Well, see, I've got that pattern on here.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I get the dadgum thing started...
It is naughty cheddar.
I think it just wants to leave some more of that stuff behind, kind of like the other one.
Yeah.
And so we're just not going to fuss about it. We're going to pull this dude off of here and put down some more ghosty hands or something else.
Whoa! Yeah, it's
okay. Now that was a little ripper there. We don't need rippers.
No.
Little hiccups and snorts are okay, but
rippers, no.
Rippers are not.
We aren't into that. Devin says, Darcy's stencil is trying to send you a secret message. It has things to say.
Has things to say. Well, remember, this is part of the problem is I use my...
Yeah, it's the texture paste mix.
It's the texture paste mix, which I don't obviously recommend unless you want to have this kind of thing happening here.
Okay, well, there's two parts to that. I'm actually glad that you mentioned that. All right, here's some ways to think about it. Number one, God, she's spitting on things. The texture paste in itself, or even the stencil butters, are meant for higher loft. You were there to get texture, actual texture. And so what that does is it puts a nice layer of it on there. Well, one of the things about gel printing is that when you come back to pull those layers up, it has to be able to penetrate that layer enough to adhere to it.
Grab it.
Grab it. One of the things that happens is that there's a tiny little area sort of around it, and especially the higher the loft is, the less contact or the more paint you actually have to get down in and around those higher edges. So this is something like to consider even when you're doing heavier layers of paint. Same kind of situation. If you've done a stencil and then really laid down that paint, you're going to need a pretty heavy and formidable pull layer of paint. I'm feeling very sciencey today.
That was an excellent. I'm just having to concentrate
because it's
totally here because I'm like, I feel like my pancake situation. I didn't warm up the pan enough in my pancakes.
I heard Izzy say, so are we starting over? Oh, she wrote down the recipe, and it's funny
my
how
God.
she spelled recipe. But I thought that one I got. That one made sense.
And she wanted to know how to spell water, and I said, just put down H2O.
Yeah, I heard you guys say that, and she did. She wrote it down. So Silver Granny wants to know, would applying some gel medium help the pole? Yes and no. Again, it's really not about... the main reason you want to come in with the gel medium is that you like the print as it is, and you do not want to alter it, other than there's going to be some alteration depending on if you use gloss or matte medium. But paint is paint, and the gel mediums are in that category. Yes, they do have those, it all has that adhesive property to it. But for something like this, it's still just about, I mean, she could come in if she was,
but
and try to get another layer of it to really focus in on those areas. But it's just, those are really thick. And some of that, remember those ones with the stencil butter there for a while? Finally, you just get to the point where you're like, yeah, you need the tape. Just get the rest of it off of there, because it's not coming up.
yeah. And I think the best print that I had with that was
Oh, it's fun to use on the plate though, Trisha. It really is, and it adds this kind of interesting, like, it's the surprise. It's more about, again, the process of it versus, you know.
And plus, remember that paint that I used was an old paint.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so it dried up pretty quick and really grabbed into the plate.
What I will do is I can come back in, and even the places where, you know, it pulled it away, I could get those off of there. But what would be more efficient, whatever, because I think this is a cool looking print.
Well, if you were tearing this
I
up
could
for
just
collage,
glue some, because I've got a couple places here where it's very thin.
well, that would be fun though. Like if you were tearing this up for collage, that overlaying something, because otherwise, like, to be able to get that kind of edge or what's coming through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like take some of my gold tissue paper and glue that down on there.
Yeah.
On the back side, so that you wouldn't be able to see it. I think it's a cool print, even though it's not as pristine as I would like it.
Just gonna glue that one down.
And this little flipper upper over here. But you can see the loft on that. You can touch it and see.
Paula says, for the European friends here in the chat and who are watching, I got some wonderful black texture paste, Dutch Do Ba Do. Is that really the name? That is fantastic. It's wonderful and affordable, she says.
What is it called?
Dutch Do Ba Do.
Well, dang. It's got a pretty sexy
Name.
I'd just buy it for that. Okay. Yeah. I think that's really cool. So now we have this awesome stuff. And I mean, really, it's great. Okay. Now.
Yeah.
This is, Mariah, I'm going to have to ask you to do this, and I meant to get it out. In this box here is my Payne's Gray.
Okay.
Open.
Real quick, Carrie says, how about printing a yellow paint on the back of it? Yeah, if you wanted to keep that print in its current look and feel. Yeah.
Absolutely. That would be a solution. An absolutely wonderful solution.
I should make a trade and tell you that you have to hand me that damn bracelet, and then I'll give you whatever paint you want over here.
Oh, you're just such a poopy diaper.
Okay, so Payne's Gray. Is this the box I'm looking at, or is this the box I'm looking at? Down
Oh,
below.
I think right there. Yes. The one on the floor.
That's carbon.
Well, I'll take off one of the bells.
I appreciate it.
At least the bells won't be belling the bell. That's when they get really clanky, is when they make contact with each other.
I feel like you're still pretty jingly over there, but
That's slight jingle.
I think you took off the
Okay, now I'm going to hand off these to Mariah because I'm going to use paint.
Oh, they have other products too. Okay, cool.
What is it?
The Dutch Do has lots of products.
Oh. Okay, so this is my palette here. Oh, whoa.
Bye, Candace. Thanks for hanging. Those of you that have come in, do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. If you're seeing the chat, that's, means we're live, so we can, say hello to you. If you aren't seeing the...
We're not going to save that paint booger.
If you aren't accessing the chat and you're just seeing it, then that means we are in replay. Leave us a comment down below, but be sure to give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. Did you get it cleaned up?
Need to do a little missionary work on the inside of that, and I already messed up my nice clean white paper, but okay, c'est la vie.
Has to happen.
Okay, now can you see this?
Mm-hmm. Now, if you wanted to, because she's got her other little gel plate there that she's using to bray her out.
And remember, this is open, so I'm going to have a bit more time to be doing some, stuff here. I'm not cleaning off because I'm going to quickly stamp here.
Oh, okay. Oh, did you see the little, did you grab the little thing off the landing? I thought it would be perfect for what we were talking about. Now, this is Sophia's Dahlia stamp, the single one, and then there's a cluster as well. But basically, if you give me those, I'll just lay them down here on the wet doody-doo. Hooty-doo.
Okay. I don't want those.
Yeah, or you can get the retarder and just mix it in with your paints. Rather than, investing in a bunch of open paints. But I think as you replace them, you might try it out to see, because it might be one of those things where, again, it just stays dry, or stays, open.
Okay, I don't
longer
want to do that.
That looks beautiful.
All right, I'm handing you that.
Okay.
Changing to a smaller one. This is why I cut my trilogy apart.
She's talking about the blooms, because it comes in a cluster. Yeah. But they aren't connected, so you could, they aren't, they don't overlap. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, Apple says, future Thursday thought suggestion. Are craft and art different? If yes, how so? I don't think they are different. I do believe that they are different, personally. Because I think
that you can take, this is just my feeling, you can take the essence of craft,
yes,
and you can make it into an art form,
yes,
by the amount of originality that you're bringing in. And I think, because if you look at artisans all over the world, and you think about that, what craft becomes art when it's done so well and it is unique in its presentation. Like wood crafters who are making one-of-a-kind bowls from those wood burls. Those are works of art.
Like what Anthony Cody does with his barons, that has now become an art form because he has now perfected a way. He makes them individually. He really thinks about the woods and things like that. It isn't just this is just, something I kind of do on the weekend or whatever type thing. I think that also, it's like, how much do you put into it?
It is, and it's just like crafting masks.
Oh, and that's Marguerite says art should be well crafted. Yes,
I think that it should be, and I think even if you're making something, I'm handing you this smaller one, Mariah. Even if you're making something that's not necessarily a work of art, and you know that it's not a work of art, it was never intended to be or whatever, if it's really well done, that reminds me, and just a minute, I've got a beautiful card that I received from one of our people in Ireland, Liz.
Oh, Liz Fahey, yes.
Where it's on the card here somewhere. I put it up here so, I'd knock it off.
Remember?
And I won't show you the address. And I shouldn't, God, dang it.
Sugar biscuits.
Well, I really wanted to frame that. But this is the only thing about the open paints that are a total pain.
And you're going to spread it everywhere.
In the butt.
Hi, Christy.
It's hard. See, I've already got it all over the envelope here. But
you want me to hold it up?
I can't even touch it. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
But isn't it wonderful?
Isn't that beautiful?
And I'm saving this envelope because it's got a very cool, I'll put my finger over that, cool stamp with, I can't tell, I'll have to get my magnifying glass out. And I even like the priority air post.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to set this off to the side because I kind of
Okay, I'm going to hand you this part too.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to mop this up because if it's goobery, it's going to... This is some rice paper here. We'll see what kind of print we get. I always like to print my... and you can do this when you're using your open. Okay, Mariah, can I have one of those back? Look at this. Doesn't this look cool? This is some kind of rice paper. I don't know.
Which one of these?
I don't know. Just give me any one.
All right, Robin says, if you are making something, you are an artist. Any judgment call regarding quality or composition is subjective. No external party gets to decide if it qualifies. I agree with that, like, internally. Like, if you believe that you are an artist, then you are an artist.
And I just feel like it's one of those things that no one has. It's not your business to be calling out somebody else, because what I consider to be art may or may not be what you consider to be art. And that's just, oh great, now I've got my fingerprints down there. It wouldn't be my artwork if it wasn't. I think I can get another. Well, that didn't work
and
out
then
too well.
Lynn says, when she was doing a lot of decorative painting, I was told it was considered a craft because we used established patterns to create our pieces. I think that's a bunch of bullcocky nonsense because, I mean, we also, like, we're in the business of creating established patterns. But there are lots of people that utilize those established patterns to create their art. So that I don't necessarily agree with.
So here's the thing. the way you use whatever it is. And you still are this is a monoprint. You could try to replicate this.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's really even feasible to try to replicate it.
Yeah.
So this is where I think art and craft, design. Craft is doing the same thing that somebody else has done in exactly the same way.
Yes, Sandy, that's a good, I think that's kind of what you're trying to say. She says, so she always thinks of craft is something that requires specific tools and or steps to follow, can be replicated, while art is more of a spontaneous, a unique thing to the creator.
Yes. Perfect.
Well said.
Yeah. That's perfect. Okay. Now here's the downside of using open. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. What is an advantage in one way becomes a disadvantage in another. I have to let this dry before I can put down.
But she got all those flowers because it was open.
I got all those flowers because it was open.
Hey,
and plus Mariah's got, I don't know what she's doing over there. She's stamping off napkins that can be used for, hey, those make great pockets because they're sturdy.
Yeah, they're stretchy.
And if you would sew those together, it would be totally awesome.
And the nice thing is it is acrylic paint. So now the stability of the acrylic paint on there after a certain amount of time, just due to what is in the wipe itself, they may be kind of broken down. They might become more,
flaky. Or they could even become brittle.
Yes. So that's something to...
We do not know that. We haven't had any long enough.
Yeah.
And I did never use them that way before, so this would be a test. Okay, this is the same mixture, but I think this was more of a rub-off.
Yes.
Because it doesn't have waft like the other one did.
And this is why it's coming off probably a little better.
Yeah. And I can't remember what I think I used the permanent rose was the pink that was here.
Well, good. I'm glad that we were able to, and you can't just throw something out there and chat and expect us to wait an entire week to not talk about that. a little impromptu. Maybe some Sunday. What would we... This is why Thursday had to be on, our thoughts had to be on Thursday, because it sounded good. That's not really why. But as much of our stuff, it just sort of happens. I can remember that at one point, an Apple, it might have even been you. It was either Apple or Monkey or one of y'all that's been around and hanging around with us for a long time said that they were sort of, they didn't come and watch, or they were intimidated by coming to watch because I guess of how we had presented ourselves as, we are the mixed media artists of, PM Artist Studio. I felt like, in the beginning, it was important to have artists in there, and it wasn't meant to...
Yeah, it wasn't meant to do anything.
It wasn't meant to intimidate anyone. It was just that's how we felt about it. But I never anticipated that others would feel intimidated by that branding. Really, is kind of what it came down to. Because we don't craft, the things that we do are very rarely replicable as far as what the end thing is. What we do is we talk about technique and the process and the different products in order to get there. It's more of that exploration than it is about craft. So that was definitely not going to be something, because I didn't want to, tell people they were going to end up learning, how to make a book. That's not what we do over here. This is how we make the book. And we hope that we inspire you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That is the process. And I don't denigrate. It's like coloring books. Mariah was not allowed to have coloring books growing up. Now, her dad would snuck them to her, much to my chagrin.
Yes.
Because I told her, I want you to make your own coloring book. And I think if you look at it like this, you can learn by using a coloring book. A coloring book can be a very meditative process and a calming process. But when you value that as the only legitimate art form that you become, I'm not going to make my own art, I'm just going to color in and use someone else's art. That's when I say that's craft.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's crap.
Personal opinions.
I tell Izzy because she's always wanting me to print off these stupid, I don't know what.
Printing coloring, but basically now in the day and age of the internet, and you can Google whatever, which drives me absolutely nuts. The coloring book business, I'm sure, has gone kaput. Maybe. No, all the adults like my age, and older and such, are using the coloring books because we love that, and it's nostalgic and awesome.
Yeah, and because they were deprived of them as a child.
Some of us, yes. But so she'll be like, "Hey, I want this." That she wants to color.
I don't do it for her. Have you noticed? I'm not going to do it for her anymore. I just told her, I said, this is BS. So now what she does, since she's independent and she knows how to find stuff on YouTube, she just finds things but it's so much more totally engaging with your mental process than just sitting there. And I think I've changed my opinion of coloring. I think there's a place for it.
Oh, I agree with that, Robin. That's one of the ones, even he who shall not be named, that was one of the reasons that I felt that because they feel like, because I think we have an awesome, with the makers. Like, that's the reason I call that makers of art and artists. So that way, people that don't necessarily feel comfortable calling themselves an artist can still feel like they have a place there, because they do. And God knows I love a crafty artist, because being crafty means you can do that problem solving, but that's craft used in a different, that's that problem solver being crafty. I think that helps.
Yes, coming up with novel solutions.
Yes. That's that tinkerer, the maker, the creator, the problem solver. And you can
using
be
what I've got rather than going to Michael's and buying
it. That gave me goosebumps. That to make it think about, to be able to talk about it like that. That's how I believe that. But I think that I have come across that, and that's why there's certain other channels and other content creators that blew me off, and I think that part of that was because they deemed themselves to be on a higher plane, and didn't want to associate with the crafters and put us in that already crafty.
And I'm just like
and it's usually a lot of dudes,
you snooty people, because the whole thing about it is, if you are not trying something and you're not engaging yourself in a process that is something that you haven't done before, there's gonna be muck-ups and whatever. And I think it's important to share those rather than say, oh, well, I'll just wait until I get this FP before I start, showing people how to do it so they won't think I'm stupid.
Well, or
I don't really care. I don't care that if you think I'm stupid or whatever. This is what I'm doing, and if I haven't done it before, I may muss it up.
Yeah.
It may be something that is just totally crap.
It happens here.
It happens, but you know what? I'll fix it so it's not.
That's right. Just come back in 2 streams. It'll be awesome. If you're seeing it in the first stream, just
May
know
not
it's got 2 more to go.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
2 more to go.
That may not be it. All right, I'm going to hand you this one and some tissue paper that I would like some stamped off on there. Ah.
Oh, no, that is not true, Sonia. Not true at all.
What?
She says that she quit posting her work on her personal Facebook page because if I was using a stencil, I'm not making my own, and not making my own paint, it wasn't art. Oh, well, that is not true. I don't think that that's true at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we prove that each and every stream, or in all of our designers, and that is art, and that's utilizing other people's designs to create the art that you want to make, and that to me is art.
And sometimes I don't even recognize.
Oh, I know.
It'll take me a minute. I'm like, okay, this is,
it feels familiar.
Tickling the edge of my brain. I feel like I should know what this is.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. We're making this little statement here about metamorphosis and that sort of thing.
And that is exactly right, Eddie. A stencil is an artist's tool. These are tools.
And I think that you must use them as such. I'm going to not... I think this will be okay since it's open.
Yeah.
But this is interesting because the line stamp here that I've stamped with, and that one is kind of the one that you're using, that particular gray one.
Oh, you want this back?
No. I'm just saying that it stamped a lot darker than the mushrooms did.
Well, I think part of that was whatever is on this particular stamp. And this is a weird foam. Like, we didn't go with this foam because it's really squishy. And it doesn't, so it smooshes out. And we didn't think that, this would be a very good candidate. And that's, with the gray foam. But I think it also holds the ink more. So what you're really seeing there is some of the old ink getting activated and pushing through.
Oh, could be.
Yes.
Because now you can see with the wasp that that's not necessarily happening there.
Yes. Aw, that's awesome. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
Okay, I'm just keep handing you these, Mariah. I'm sorry that.
No, that's fine.
It's really nice to have you over there doing that.
Appreciate it. We have 5 minutes.
What?
Sorry. Well, we got into the big old discuss. We can go long. I don't care, and I'm not starving. So, and our baby's, at church, so that's good. I don't have to worry about getting down there and making sure she has lunch.
Yeah,
she's being taken care of by other people. It's important. Oh, I love that, Paula. Don't be a tool, use a tool. We have them, PM Artist Studio.
Okay, my open paint is not staying very open.
It's closing. It does have closing time. It's closing time. Yeah, see this older squishy foam, because I think this was a tester too. Just judging by its squishiness.
Yeah, I get the ones that not necessarily working out.
Well, or we're just trying out new things. And some of these things, would work, but then we're kind of like, longevity-wise or like what people are used to. We try to take all those things into... Oh. We love that too, Lynn. Hey, Devin, if you're willing to pay for the shipping, I have a speedball plate and I have all the Acrylic inks. She doesn't want to do it. It's all brand new. It's all paid for. But if you want to pay for the shipping, I will ship it to you.
Yeah, I really thought that I wanted to. Mm-hmm. And maybe, you know, if I see somebody, I've seen a couple people do it, but it's just not where I am right now in my head.
And I think one of the things for her is, I believe this to be true. I could be completely wrong, but I think you're going to need a little bit of more of a setup area.
Yes.
For it. I don't know why I think that.
You're also going to have places for stuff to dry.
Because, although, no, see, the Acrylic ink, once it hits paper, it should dry. It stays, like, open on the plate. Like, that's its hybridness of the ink. But I don't know that because she would never, you know, like, test it out or whatever. And I just didn't want to get... I think the cleanup off of the plate is going to be kind of interesting. But I guess if you were just to pull it up, I don't think you want to use, like... It's going to be, like, you're going to have to balance out. Yeah.
Okay, I'm loving this. The first one that I did, but here's the second one, and it looks really good. All right, what else do I have here?
Well, the reason that I got the plate, and you may want the plate, is that you may want to compare it, and it may be something that to see how the inks work both on your, you know, gel press or Gelli Arts plates versus the speedball plate, because the speedball plate is designed to work with those inks. So just the thought there. Some people say that they're pretty much the same, but I'm pretty sure that the speedball plate is stickier. And I don't know if that's a, you know, something. Yeah. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Oh, she has a speedball plate. Okay.
Hey,
there you go. It sucks with the acrylic ink. Yeah, so the acrylic like paints and stuff. I figured that like that was kind of one of the things, because like Nitsa, she's done a full-on comparison, and it was like, you know, with the acrylic paints there wasn't a huge difference as far as, but I think it was just that whole stickiness and trying to get used to, you know, gauging that comparatively.
Okay.
All right. Are you, what else do you need to do there, or are we wrapping up?
Done.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, I think that came at a really good time.
Perfect. Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is, again, this, because it's open, I need to let it dry. I'm going to go ahead and...
What are you going to go ahead and...
Pull my paint.
Yes, off of the little brayer
off of my print.
All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We are back, you know, we are going to be back here tomorrow for the regular, you know, Monday Makes with Mariah. I am going to go through my package that Carrie sent to me for my swap and make for the FlipFlyFloraFauna Makers Creative Collab, because we did a little, you know, swap and make and whatnot. We're going to see what he sent me, and maybe, hopefully, I'm going to try to get through it fairly quickly, so maybe I can get started on whatever I need to be making, because we're already, like, you know, a week in. Holy cow.
Yeah.
We'll see you back here tomorrow, guys. Thanks so much for hanging. Bye.
Bye.